Hey, me again, at the top of the episode, to remind you that we have a Patreon page. Patreon.com/won't be forgetting that pod has all of the exclusive content on there. So we're doing a few Patreon-only episodes this year. I'm trialing it out just to see if I can get a little bit more support with the show. I do absolutely genuinely love doing this show, but a little bit of help to make it run would be very much appreciated. And for that, you will be rewarded with any exclusive content as well. We have a few announcements that will be going up there early. You can get each episode ad-free and early as well. So if you want to do that, please head over to patreon.com/won't be forgetting that pod. Apart from that, I would say enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome to Won't Be Forgetting That, a podcast talking about all of the most awkward and embarrassing experiences people have had whilst working in the arts and entertainment industry. I'm your podcast host, Seb Muirhead, and today we have a guest. They are a musician, a DJ, a bar wench, Queenie.
Hi.
Thanks so much for coming on, mate.
Thank you so much for having me, Seb.
No, you're like literally my pleasure. I always say this to everyone as well, but I'm always so appreciative of everyone that comes on here. Also, do like to start this podcast off now with a little bit of like a compliment, because it has been mentioned in the past, I get incredibly talented performers on and then just exclusively get them to talk about like their career low points and all the worst points that have happened in their career, and it doesn't always give off the best vibes, which I don't want to do. It's not why I do this podcast. I do it so I can steal all these stories and blackmail people later when they're much more famous. And
Excellent.
I'd be like, hey, you got any backup vocals in your track you need? Because that is what I'm...
Sure. Anything you want, Seb.
Yeah.
Anything you want.
So this podcast isn't even coming out. I don't know why I'm being this nice up front. No, but yeah, genuinely, I was just listening to all your back catalogue last night and then again today. Fuck, you're good.
Thank you.
Right? Yeah, no, it's genuinely impressive. And like, you've had or have a million different bands and then DJ as well. Just why are you so talented?
Oh, God, I wish.
No, like genuinely, I know.
It's called working 7 days a week and never sleeping.
Yeah, baby. Anyone that's listening that wants to be a muso or wants to be in the arts and entertainment industry, just give it your fucking life. And just
grind yourself into the ground.
Yeah, and you won't
That's
get
the only way to
paid.
do it. Yeah, you'll be broke all your life.
Yeah, I know. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, that was too early there. But yeah, so like you're what, like, I don't know. I'm not very well versed in the music world, but like singer-songwriter, DJ, rock star as well. Is that?
Rock star on the side.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I DJ to pay the bills. Basically. I love it. It's a really great way, obviously, for me to keep doing music and something creative and musical. You know, I get to drink for free, see all my friends.
Oh, fuck. All right, I'm going to be a DJ as well.
It's like the most money I make per hour out of any of the jobs I've ever worked.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I love it. I love it. It's like a really fun way to make extra cash.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's not just turning up with your iPod shuffle and just pressing play, right? It's actually involved with like talent and stuff. It's
now, initially I was definitely just Spotify DJing.
Oh, were you?
I'm not ashamed to admit.
Turning down for the ads as well. It's like, hey, a couple more gigs. I can afford this Spotify premium.
Yeah, you don't need to know about this insurance company.
No.
But yeah, it was something that I actually wanted to learn how to do, for quite a long time. So I hit up a couple of my friends who are like professional DJs and got some lessons.
Yeah.
And now I just cart my decks around. I can DJ vinyl, but I prefer not to because I'm lazy and I don't like carrying things around.
I would be fucking terrified of I hate just touching vinyl. It's the scariest
Me
stuff.
too.
I don't know how anyone used to own that, or still do. I got so many friends that collect vinyl, man. I'm a
Same.
middle-aged white man. I have so many friends that collect vinyl.
I'm clumsy. I'm dirty. I lose things.
I was like, oh man, I used to hate touching CDs.
Yeah.
Like vinyl, and then you like bring it out in front of drunk people in those funny little cases, or occasionally a milk crate, depending on who
drunk
you are.
people, including me.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I can't read at the best of times, so trying to do it in the dark when I'm pissed. Yeah,
the music and like the songs in it as well. I don't actually know how vinyls work either, to be honest with you. But like, fuck, you're doing like 5 gigs a night sometimes, right?
It's been busy. The last like 2 years have been, sort of playing pretty hard.
Yeah, sick.
Just sort of in the lead up, and also like I've been paying off my album debts, obviously. So
yeah, it's funny. It costs a bit of fucking money to make an album, right?
Yeah, it does. Crazy that we make no money and everything is really expensive. So
but it costs so much. So that's a nice trade-off, right?
Yeah.
You make nothing, but you give
and
so
I give
much.
so much. But yeah, I should have been a sound engineer, getting buddy $500 a day.
Look, I don't want to do it, but I can understand why people do sound engineering. Any of the tech side of anything, to be honest with you, I'm like. like you have to put up with a lot of weird people.
Oh,
like,
hell yeah. And they
coming in
work
and out.
fucking hard.
Yeah, right. Like, and they're also magicians. I don't know how to do half the fucking stuff they do.
That's something I really want to learn.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, me too. Like anything like editing or color grading or any of the back end stuff for that. I'm just like, man, I just give you something and it looks different when you give me a back.
I know. It's amazing. And you're like, can you make this sound more like scrongly or like, wistful? And they fucking know what you're talking about.
And it just sounds good
Yeah.
as well. Sometimes I'm like, I record, even just editing this podcast, I'm like, man, how do I stop making it sound so crap?
And they're
and
like,
it's running it through so many different programs. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is fucking black magic, man. What is this? But sorry, stop shouting out text. We're shouting out you just now.
Shut at me.
Yeah, so the DJ work's more of a way to help you with the
Pretty much
singer-songwriting.
It's just an enjoyable side hustle.
Yeah.
To prop up the day job.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And we're Queenie as well for the most part just now. Do we have any other bands on the go?
I do. I play in another band called Badgers.
Yeah,
which is sort of like a bit of a psych rocky outfit.
Yeah.
Think like Oasis-y vibes.
Quite a bit different from the solo work as well.
Yeah, it is a bit different, which is nice. Like I just play guitar and sing BVs in that band, so
yeah, that's
it's
sick.
like a nice little step back from having to.
So many different genres, man. Do you get a lot of crossover fans? So like someone that's like fucking
Weirdly, yes.
Yeah, that's
weirdly,
sick.
yes. Like I don't know. I mean, obviously we all run in the same circles. It's a really small scene.
Yeah,
but,
fair enough.
And some people do just follow musicians around because they just genuinely like. I think of Childish Gambino. Doesn't matter what he puts out.
Oh, for sure.
His fans love it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he could put out a metal album, a rap album, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, people just love it because they just love him as, an artist.
An artist, yeah.
So
for
it's
sure,
funny
eh?
to see, like, how many people actually do, like, follow
Fucking
the
shout out
bands
to all
around.
those people. Like,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Like, you fans.
Yeah.
You pay my bills.
Like, genuinely as well.
Yeah.
You're the only reason I exist in any sort of a space.
Pretty much. And, don't just hide my music away in a Dropbox folder, never to be seen again. So.
Yes, which is a lot of people as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, okay. I brought this podcast down a little bit now, but... But no, we're trying to. I always say with the podcast, I'm like 50% comedy, 50% like soul crushing stories, soul crushing sadness, which I think is just entertainment.
Such
in
is
general.
life, really,
Right?
isn't it?
Oh, fuck, man, that's too deep. That's too deep, bro. So, with the way I usually like to start this podcast, after, of course, all of the beautiful words said to my guests, is like I ask people if they have the pre-prepared stories. And how they like to, or how they want to tell it. Usually the groupings come together. So actually, I'll be honest with you, I haven't had that many musicians on, so I don't have any of my go-tos. With actors, it's always the TV commercial auditions. Stand-ups, it's always the corporate gigs.
Yeah.
Do you get booked for corporate gigs at all as a muso?
I do. I've done quite a few. I've done some, well, it's probably more DJ shows, I guess.
Okay.
I think because I don't really play covers, there's probably less of a market for like, music in a corporate sense.
Playing Hotel California to a drunk crowd of
As
Bupa
much as I would love
employees.
to, yeah.
I mean, me too, honestly. If you pay me corporate, I'm in.
Eagles.
Yeah. I'm happy to do any of that.
Exactly. But you pay me the money and I'll do it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we did a Bon Jovi show at 11 a.m. for Love Police a couple of weeks ago.
What's a Bon Jovi show?
So basically, the festival, I don't know if you saw or heard about the 86 Festival. It's basically like a festival they run along High Street.
Oh, cool.
In multiple
No.
different venues.
I'm a boring old man.
You'll just stay on the couch.
I know. I'd much rather sit at home
Yes.
playing Marvel Snap.
Well, good. Yes. I mean, probably I would too.
Yeah, no,
But-
I'm sorry. Yes, sorry. 86 Festival
The
and then
86
Bon Jovi
Festival.
gig in the 86 Festival.
So, yeah, basically it was a part of this festival that they run.
Oh,
we were
sick.
playing at the Northcote Theatre.
oh, fuck. Oh, that place is sick.
Yeah, Love Police are like a sort of like a touring company.
Oh,
like,
cool.
Yeah, like a entertainment company. They booked us to learn 5 songs from Slippery When Wet, which is obviously Bon Jovi's 1986 album.
I have heard of that one, yes. Okay.
I'm glad. Yes, good. So
I'm
you know
in
what
there
I'm talking
somehow.
about.
I've got some context, yes.
And yeah, so we learned 5 songs from the album and
Oh, sick.
played them at like 10:45 in the morning.
Oh, fuck, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought when you said 11, it was 11 p.m.
No, at
10:45
10:45 a.m., which is probably the craziest gig I've done.
What? Sorry, why? I mean, first off, why?
First of all, great money.
Yeah. Okay.
Second
sorry.
of all-
no, I'm not asking you why. I'm asking the organisers. Why have you got live music at 10:45 in the morning?
It was crazy. It started at 8. A friend of mine, Ben Mack,
8
was also
a.m.?
doing like
What?
a tribute act as well from like 8 a.m. It was crazy, but people were there.
Yeah, right, okay.
People were there ready to party for Bon Jovi at like 11 o'clock in the morning. It was amazing because it ran like all day. So obviously they just book out slots in the different venues for whatever they want to do.
I don't know if Bon Jovi
It was
seems
so
like
fun and so cool.
a brunch. You're just sitting down.
A morning breakfast listen.
Yeah, a little, I don't know, an oat milk latte.
Oh, yeah,
Avocado
almond
on toast
latte
and
before I go on stage.
Bon
rather than-
Jovi?
Yeah.
I would actually love gigs at that time as well. I'm not great with the old nights
Me
anymore.
neither.
Yeah.
To be fair, we were done by 12 and I was like, "Fuck, now I have a whole fucking day. Like, this is great.
A whole day to get drunk and watch heckle everyone else.
Yeah.
Play Bon Jovi.
Again.
Bring that Bon Jovi person back.
So that
Wow.
was a great experience.
And that was indoors as well? So
that
it
was
was like
indoors,
people
yeah.
came into the theatre to watch you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So it wasn't just... Because whenever I think of daytime gigs, I always just think of you're either like
Yeah.
in a winery or you're just on the street side, essentially, with like a set-up stage.
Festival vibes, yeah.
Then it's just people dancing with their kids. That's what I'm thinking. But like people came in and sat down. I mean, Bon Jovi is a classic for the ages, obviously.
It really is.
But yeah.
And, I feel like perhaps the Bon Jovi crowd probably gets up early to do shit anyway. So.
Yeah, you know what?
No
yeah.
one was hungover from the Friday night because they probably all had wine and cheese and went to bed at 8 p.m.
Oh,
You'd
absolutely, yeah.
You'd hope.
No, I would say definitely.
Probably what I was doing.
I'd say the Bon Jovi crowd no longer can make it to nighttime gigs now, whether
True
they want
that.
to or not. Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense,
Shout out
actually.
to Bon
in
Jovi
hindsight.
crowd. You're doing great, sweetie.
Book you again for this year.
Yes.
But, okay, so apart from the morning gigs, would you count that as a corporate then, I suppose?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I guess so, yeah, because obviously it's a little bit different to what, we'd usually do.
Yeah.
I mean, not quite so corporate. Like, I've done, a few things for functions or whatever, weddings, especially
Weddings,
DJing. Yeah.
yeah, of
I mean,
course.
we've done a couple of weddings as a band, but I guess because it's original music, realistically, like, people just want to hear covers.
Oh, of course. They want
And I'll do a couple, but,
Yeah,
it's
come up
not
really
quite
drunk.
my sort of forte, I
like,
guess.
can you play this one song? And you're like, not really?
Can't.
No.
I would if I could, but I can't.
Yeah. And you're like, that's not really how bands work.
Screaming
Sorry.
at the front,
Yeah.
yelling at me to play K-San.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, cool. Keep screaming at me for another 20 minutes.
No
I will
worries.
just get more and more scared. Yeah. So I suppose the DJ work makes more sense for corporates.
It
then.
does, yeah.
And then corporates, you would include like your functions, your weddings. Do you ever get work parties?
Yeah, I've had a couple Christmas parties.
Oh,
Get
the
hit up
worst.
for Christmas parties.
I mean, unless any future employers are listening, then obviously we love them.
We love them.
Yes, but
Love.
Christmas parties are a fucking nightmare.
Oh, even to attend Christmas parties is a nightmare.
Yeah, because you've got a group of people that you hang out with them, but not out of your own volition.
I feel like office Christmas parties would be like so hectic. I don't think I've ever really experienced that because I've never really worked.
I've never worked in an office
The
either.
9 to 5 life. Not near Christmas anyway.
Yeah.
In like tiny stints until I wanted to,
I've worked as like a barista in an office for like one day at a time, and I'm like, this is more than enough. I don't even work directly with you.
can't do it.
I'm interacting with you for like 5 minutes to make you a coffee. This is too much.
Let me out.
I used to work at a theatre restaurant,
Oh, yeah.
and we'd always get work Christmas parties in because people are like, we'll go and see this cool show, and nobody knew what it was. Nobody wants to sit down and watch like a 2-hour show as well. They just want to get pissed and,
Yeah.
I mean, just scream things, honestly. And that was always the worst.
I mean, you remember the crowd.
Yes.
Christ.
Whether we can mention that name or not. We both used to, sorry, a little peek behind the curtain for all you beautiful perverts as well. We used to work together at a theatre, which you may or may not guess, depending if I bleeped out that name earlier. But in Melbourne, that's all we shall
A
say.
theatre in Melbourne.
Yes, of the arts description. But yeah, that was also a nightmare for different reasons.
Oh, man. I don't
Varied crowds in there, I would say. But again, those ones you don't interact with for as long. Like we worked in the foyer, so just serving people drinks. In the theatre restaurant I worked in, it was like you'd serve them for like 2 or 3 hours. And my God, you'd always get the worst ones were like school parties, like teachers and stuff. Because
Oh, my God. The worst.
the worst, like genuinely. And I get it, like you're looking after everyone else's kids, but like you just need to hire out like a warehouse or a break room or something and just like go crazy. Don't come to civilized venues.
Cry. Go find a little cabin somewhere and cry.
Or like the woods and just scream into the wilderness, honestly, because you're making
To be
everyone
fair,
else.
it sounds great.
I mean, I would take that as well, honestly. But yeah, like fuck, man, they just go off the rails. And nurses, again, much in the similar boat as well. because they're just dealing with people that are not the most desirable people all day long.
God.
A lot of the time, and you're like,
kids
my
and sick
God.
people is probably, I just couldn't do it.
No, not at all.
So props to them, but fucking
I can't even deal with myself most of the
Me
time as
neither.
well. But yeah, that was always the worst. And because we were all wearing weird like mesh tank tops and stuff. You're like,
yeah.
I don't know, they didn't know the line of where to draw it, and you're like, this is just a fucking weird experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, so not to get into my own depressed. This is my therapy podcast as well, so I can't
it all
afford
out,
it.
Sam,
Yeah,
let it
so
out.
I'm really genuinely trying to find help through this podcast. So anyone, can you call in just now, please, and just offer me advice, please, for the love of God, please. But yes, sorry. Back to our prepared story. So I don't know if you came in with any way you'd like to tell them chronologically, or if you had any groupings together with maybe the DJs, and then with the Queenie, the Queenie,
Yeah.
and then Badgers, or I know we've had a few other bands in the past as well. Whether are we allowed to name them or not?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So you can. Heloise, was that one as
That
well?
was That was my first like solo project. I think I was playing in pubs when I was like 15.
Yeah, nice. Fuck, how was that?
Yeah, my mum would definitely follow me around with a shotgun, trying to beat off all the old men that were like
Excuse me.
coming. I mean that figuratively.
Okay, right. Well, if that part's bleeped
Beat
out,
them
as well.
away.
Whatever gets rid of the old men. But yes, absolutely fair enough as well. Was that in? I don't know if we can say, but Melbourne just now, was it in like you're in the suburbs, or were we talking
No,
about
that was in
country
Tassie.
pubs?
Back in Tassie, yeah. So I grew up in Tassie.
Whereabouts? Are we allowed to say? You don't have to say.
Launceston. Oh, yeah,
Launceston. Okay. No, we can say. I just don't want people stealing your identity.
Oh, no, that's
I'm
fine.
joking.
Enjoy logging into my bank accounts. There's nothing in there.
Please fix them.
Yeah, I can't even get a loan with my credit rating.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You can steal nothing.
Yeah.
I was just down in Tassie last year for a feature film.
Oh,
We're down
yes.
in,
With a couple of my friends.
Oh, really? Oh, we'll
Yes.
talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, down in Tunbridge. Shout out
Yes.
to Tunbridge.
Oh,
I hope to
beautiful.
never return.
Fair.
And I would say no offence, but I genuinely mean that. Oh, look, it wasn't for me. But Launceston, I can imagine with similar vibes. How was that playing in, I presume, not what people would imagine as your posh or your upper class Melbourne pubs. You've got your Launceston Tasmanian pubs.
Weirdly, like when I was sort of 15, 16, like all through college,
Yeah.
you know, I played with a couple of bands there, and they'd have, like, the pubs back then were pumping.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, it was crazy. Like, Wednesday nights would have an originals night at one of the pubs there.
Shit.
And it would be packed every Wednesday. Like, people genuinely wanted to go and see originals music. Like, there's no way you'd get people that on a Wednesday night there for originals music now. Probably not
God,
even
no.
cover bands. Like,
No, not at all.
like, thinking back now, it's actually insane that was such a massive thing. And I'm so lucky that was such a huge part of, you know,
And when you were
my
15 as
experience.
well,
Yeah.
hey? Like, fuck, that's like so cool to grow up with. But then also
so
kind of
lucky.
sets you up a little bit, being like, this is what my entire career is going to
I
be
was
like.
like, what? Wednesdays? Pack out a pub on a Wednesday.
Yeah, you
Couldn't
come
do
to
it.
Melbourne and you're like, oh, is this pub even open on a Wednesday? They booked me. I can't
Yeah.
get into the front door. Yeah, but that's cool. Like, and that was all locals or students or
Yeah, all locals. Like, I mean, it was like an all, you know, anyone from any sort of
a real mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
I mean, they had cover bands that would play there, but yeah, the place used to get packed. Most of there was two sort of major pubs,
Yeah.
maybe three when I left, that would do originals music, and like, but people would come out and watch. Like, it would be crazy.
That's so cool.
And even I remember my mum talking about in, you know, the sort of 90s, like venues there were open every night of the week, and there
Yeah.
was music on every night of the week, and people were there.
And it's just pumping as
Yeah.
well. Wow.
So it's kind of sad that it's just, I mean, it's still there a little bit. Hobart's definitely coming up now,
Yeah.
more so like a mini Melbourne, I guess.
Yeah, Hobart's really starting to gentrify for better or worse. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Tassie obviously thrives on tourism.
Yeah, so much,
it's
eh?
such a huge part of the economy down there. So obviously it's great for local businesses, but
Yeah, but then you hit the winter sometimes and the whole place just seems to go into hibernation a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. Which again, I don't know if the locals enjoy it or not. In,
I don't know.
in the
I don't know.
wintertime.
It's one of those things where you want to keep it a secret, but
Yeah.
you don't want the place
also-
to die out.
Yeah, it'd be nice if people could come down and spend their money there as well.
Yeah, but then
it's-
they can fuck off.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, Don't come to the pubs that are the good secrets. Yeah. Just go to like...
Don't go buying up all the land in the cute houses.
Yeah, just go to Mona.
Yeah.
And fuck off
and then
afterwards.
Fuck off.
But spend all your money here, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's a pretty good way to start off in that case then.
Yeah, I was really lucky.
So you started high and it was just up and up from there, was it?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. Up, baby.
When did you move over to Melbourne then?
I think I just finished year 12. And I probably worked, I think, for maybe 6 months. I moved over in April 2013.
And that's where you were based after that until this current day?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I never left.
Oh, God. I love Melbourne,
I do too.
personally. It's not always the most busy, unfortunately. No. But that's quite nice as well.
It is good. Yeah, it's nice having both, I think.
Yeah, right? You can kind of escape it, but then also it's fucking hectic sometimes.
So I moved out to the bush.
Yeah.
Bush, in quotation marks. I'm doing air quotes, everyone.
Air quotes on a podcast as well. I'll give you a heads up next time that Eloise does the air quotes as well. Just FYI. So it was over here and then just started gigging around.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of open mic nights.
How is an open mic night? So again, like predominantly we've had comedians on that talk about the open mic nights, which are a fucking wild ride. And we've had a few musicians on that talk about the open mic nights, and they sound honestly just a little bit sad sometimes. I'm sure it's not a lot of the time, but I think Vic Meehan, friend of the show, told me one where I was like, I genuinely feel bad, and I don't know how I'm going to not think about this the entire rest of the podcast.
Oh.
Have you got any fun,
I feel like they're just
fun memories?
It's like the most dehumanizing thing. Like,
yeah, right. That's kind of what I've heard. Yeah.
I've been and watched open mic nights.
Yeah.
You know, admittedly, probably not on purpose, but like,
oh, it's there. I'm here. Why not?
I'll be like, oh, well, whatever. You know,
Okay.
this is a great pub.
Yeah.
And seeing some interesting things.
Wow, that was quite a word as well. I was like, "Where's this word going?"
Yeah.
Interesting,
Yeah.
right?
But again, like it's just like it's this weird thing where people have come to the pub,
yeah,
maybe not necessarily knowing that there's live music on,
So
and
I've
then
heard
they're
that a
kind of
lot.
forced into listening to maybe something that they probably wouldn't have gone there otherwise.
Yeah.
See, I mean, I was really lucky. A lot of the open mic nights, there were sort of pre-organised open mic nights.
okay,
And they were at local pubs, so a lot of my friends would come along and it
yeah,
wouldn't be
nice.
quite so awkward.
You pack your own house,
Yeah. Pretty much. But fuck, I can't even imagine doing it as a comedian.
So, that's a nightmare as well. I
I
think
feel like that would just it'd be one bad open mic night and that'd be my career over.
even more
I couldn't take
dehumanizing. But with music as well. So, like open mic nights, do you play your own originals, or do you go up play covers?
I'd play originals. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
nice.
I didn't really know any covers, so I'd just do my own songs. But yeah, I mean, I did a lot of open mic nights. I was lucky. I met a lot of musicians fairly early on, and ended up doing a lot of support slots.
Yeah, nice.
You know, so I was lucky in that I didn't get stuck into the open mic night thing for too long.
You're just drifting around that for the next 20 years, and you're like, wow,
Just
Should I
got to
get a-
hit the big time sometime.
boring office job now. Because you do find like there's the podcast dog has broken in once again.
hi,
Here she
baby.
is. Oh god, she's out of control. Thank you. This is usually where we take our break just now, Eloise,
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
get rid of the dog. She got rid of herself. There we
She's
go.
like, hey guys, bye guys.
She will return as well to be an absolute menace.
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, yes, open mic nights. Mm-hmm. You find with them, like, do you start like getting into your little cliques there?
Yeah, I did. Like, I was lucky. My ex-boyfriend who I moved here with went to JMC, which was a
Oh
music
yes,
uni
I know
there.
JMC.
Yes, the good old JMC.
Yes.
So
Music
we made
and, like whatever.
They do, like, music
arts.
audio.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember. I don't know if they do theatre there.
I don't think theatre, but they
think
do a
so.
lot of
I
like
think
behind the camera
Yeah,
operating,
yeah.
editing, all that kind of stuff.
That
yeah.
kind of thing. So I was lucky that we made friends like that were also musos.
Yeah.
Fairly early. Like,
Like that's handy.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
handy because like the people I worked with were heaps older, had kids. Like, I weren't really sort of people that I could socialise with. Like,
No.
where I was
You'd
working. So
Maybe
which I
wouldn't
feel like
want to socialise with.
yeah. I mean, I was like, you know, fresh 19-year-old.
Yeah. Go on.
Wasn't really gonna go hang out and have, you know, one night with the kids that I don't.
Little cheeky wine with Karen and her 3 kids,
Yeah.
all talking about how school was, and you're like,
To be fair, they were all lovely, but
yes, yeah.
you know, I was
Different
essentially
points
still a
in
tiny
life.
baby.
Yeah.
So it was good that was like an opportunity for me to meet people my own age. You know,
And you got
because
to-
it's so hard as an adult. Like,
Oh,
you know,
it's crazy, right?
If you're not
It's
going to
crazy.
school,
Yeah.
how the fuck do you meet people?
And then sometimes you just got like what you were saying, you go into those open mic nights and you're like, oh, is this what everyone's like? Like you get
Yeah.
that one again, I'm doing air quotes now, weird group or that weird night, and you're like, is this even a good venue? Like, what is this? And you're like, fuck, am I just stuck with these people
suck?
now?
Am I the worst? Like, what?
Yeah, am I just going to perpetually play like 2 songs at this one open mic night for the rest of my life now?
Just existentialcrisis.com, you know.
Oh, I have one of them every year, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, 2 every 2 days.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? The arts, so well supported in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And a good career path for anyone listening. So sorry, I'm kind of just going through your life now. I feel like this is... No, tell me all about your life. If you do have any prepared stories as well, I'm more than happy to get into them. Otherwise, I'm always so happy to hear about...
Oh, I'm easy. I can talk forever.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Do you have like any other starting out? Let's try this chronologically then. There's a word I can't fucking say. Sorry, Eloise, I got so much brain damage from doing stunt work as well that I will perpetually
I didn't even do
fuck
stunt
up
work,
words.
so I've got an excuse.
Something else then. Huh? We all get it somehow. So early on in the career, do we have any...
I do actually. This is probably good. I probably have accidentally put these in chronological order, to be fair.
Fuck yeah, perfect.
Which is a great segue from Tassie and
Moving into
down
Melbourne
there,
as a
moving
young
to
buck.
Melbourne as a young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
Coming out into the real world and experiencing like
big
I've
city life.
never spoken like that on this podcast before, so I can only apologise to everyone listening. Sorry, yeah. So when you were first getting here,
I mean, it was just before I left, so I'd
cool.
actually written this song for a quite sort of well-budgeted, big-scale tourism campaign.
Oh no shit! In
Tassie.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which was like obviously great opportunity for me.
Oh,
and,
amazing!
Like I was super excited. I'd written this song, recorded it. There was like a whole like tourism campaign filmed with like this model that was on some crazy model show.
Holy shit!
Like awesome experience for me as like a 17-year-old.
So I'm so excited by this, and I just realised what podcast we're on, and it's probably not going to end well. So I'm going to temper my expectations a little bit now. Oh no, your face as well.
No,
oh God. All right, sorry. So. Okay, so this one song.
Yeah, so like obviously, but I mean, all of my embarrassing stories are basically just me being dumb all the time.
Oh, so bro, me too.
But I'd actually like it was this whole scale thing. It had come to fruition. Whatever, it was all finished. The tourism campaign had been launched, which was I was so excited.
Yeah,
great opportunity for me as an artist.
Oh, for sure.
There was this conference down in Hobart for the tourism campaign, like media conference. There were TV crews there, journos, heaps of media.
Launching of the campaign, essentially.
Pretty much.
Holy shit.
A follow-up for, all the stuff that had been going on.
Yeah.
And basically they were like, we'd love for you to come down and perform this song that you've written for this campaign, just acoustically. It'll be televised, it'll all be filmed, the newspapers will be there, blah, blah, blah. So it was quite a big thing.
The Hobart Pulse, will that be there?
Yeah, Hobart Pulse radio was it was, so it was quite sort of a fairly hefty,
That's huge.
media thing.
Again, I'm so excited for you, but then it's a bit like,
you just know that it ends
myself.
badly,
I'm like, oh no, this isn't going to end well. So you made it down to Hobart.
So I made it down to Hobart.
Okay, that's
Hobart
good.
was fine. Great trip. We had to do a radio interview at, I think it was 6:45 that morning.
Oh, yuck. I mean, that's when everybody listens to interview, but also, listens to radio, but also nobody's firing at all cylinders at that time in the morning.
Hell no. And the thing was, obviously it was quite a short segment.
Yep.
So I did the interview. I was, we had to be up at 5:30 a.m.
Yuck.
I mean, if you're a musician, you probably know that it's really fucking hard to sing at and perform at this early in the morning.
Did they want you to sing on radio? What?
At 6:45 in the morning. So got there, but because it was such a short segment, they only wanted a kind of a snippet of the song. So I was like, that's great. They're like, yeah, just play a couple chords and a chorus.
Yeah, okay.
I was like,
okay,
easy, awesome, no dramas.
Is it that kind of song which you it kind of lends itself to that as well?
Yeah, I mean, you can just take the chorus and song and it just be a snippet essentially.
Yes.
And so, went on the radio, did this interview. It was great. I was so fucking tired, obviously.
Of course.
Driven from Lonnie down to Hobart.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, I was going to say, you drive? It was 3 hours at most. But still. For Tasmania.
Yeah.
Wait, did you not stay the night before then?
I can't remember if we did or we drove down that morning. But either way, we were up really early.
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling maybe we were driven down late the night before. I can't remember if I'd had a
so.
Show the night before. There was something that had gone on.
And again, except from the Bon Jovi gig, every single music show is at nighttime.
Yeah.
So getting up at 5:30 is
0 out of 10.
No good.
No good.
Yeah.
You can't even get warmed up by then.
No.
So I go on, do this radio show,
Okay.
Play this little snippet of the song. It's like, cool, great. And then obviously straight after, a car comes and picks us up, takes us to this sort of media conferencey,
beautiful.
raunchy kind of thing.
And that's live performance on the radio went okay?
Was fine. Everything was fine.
Nice.
I didn't sound like a dipshit on radio, which I can and have done
Congrats.
in the past.
I don't know how to do
16-year-old
that.
me, go you.
Oh, 16-year-olds as well.
I was like 16, 17, I must have been at the time.
Yeah.
And so we arrived there, have a lot of
Yep.
photos taken, blah, blah, blah. There's like this big cheese cutting. I can't remember, there was some local celebrity was there. We were cutting this cheese. There was like these local farmers there who were being interviewed on this, with these local farmers that had this beautiful cheese. So, lots of people there, lots of hustling and bustling.
Lots of people, lots of cheese, yeah.
Yeah. So it comes to the point where I have to perform the song.
Okay.
I get up on stage.
Okay.
And, there's TV crews. I'm looking out, there's journalists with their little notepads. There's the people that have organised the campaign, paid me all this money to do this ad campaign.
I'm getting so anxious just now, I'm going to be honest. I am sweating.
I play the intro.
Okay.
And I cannot remember how the fuck any of the song goes.
Oh, no.
Your
song as
I have
well.
my own song. I fully blank the first line of the song. Can't remember. Sometimes if you get the first line, you're good, and then the rest of it just comes out. I could not, for the life of me, remember the first line, second line, halfway through the verse. I couldn't even flunk it. I forget my lyrics a lot. I'm really forgetful.
Yeah.
But this was just, I don't know if I was just so fucking tired. I couldn't get my shit together.
Bro, you're like 16 or 17
I was like
as
such
well.
a baby.
Yeah.
And I played probably a G chord for maybe 8 bars.
Oh, no.
I just couldn't get the first line. I played the chorus wrong. Somehow I'd played it fucking an hour earlier and still couldn't manage to play a completely wrong chorus.
People in front of you,
So many.
and they didn't have any backup. They didn't have your.
I had no lyrics, nothing.
Why wouldn't they? They've got a child on stage. Put some safety nets there. Fuck.
So I played a chorus and then was just thank you, and ended it, and everyone was like,
oh, the politest claps.
ugh, big slow clap. Got off stage, and my mum, obviously because my mum was there, she was like, what happened? And I was like, I don't know. I fully just blanked the whole thing.
Of course, it happens. That's every performer's nightmare as well. As you go up and you're just there's nothing in there. There's no one to save you.
No,
Yeah.
and I couldn't even, I couldn't even be like, what's the first line?
Yeah, and it's not like you can
'Cause no one
ask
else
people.
knew.
Yeah, it's your song. Rightfully, no one else should know the lyrics, especially when it hasn't been out yet.
Yeah,
Man,
I sometimes
that's-
relive that, at late at night. I'll be like,
Look, I'll be honest with you. I am so grateful that you shared that, and I love those stories for that exact reason. Because I love to I love to get them out there. And you're like, fuck, just get out of my brain. Because you do sit up at night sometimes. You're like, that's still with me. And how many years ago was that? More than a few years ago now.
Well, I'm 30, so how was that?
13,
years
14,
ago,
yeah.
14 years ago.
And it's still in there, huh? And you're like, I wonder if anyone else even remembers that, hey?
You just, no, probably not.
exactly,
I mean, I
that's
don't know,
it.
maybe the campaign organisers that were like, what the fuck was that?
Maybe the farmer's like, I don't understand music nowadays. It's
And,
just a child playing a G chord over and over
Oh,
again.
it's so weird, so great, good job.
Yeah.
And the campaign was just like, oh, we figured it you were just playing a snippet or something, like a preview or whatever. And I was like, I completely waked it.
Wow.
I think they refilmed it later when I sang the whole song.
That's good.
So they could put together
At least
a
it
little
wasn't
thing.
live.
I think there was live radio there.
Fuck. Okay, never mind then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so that's good.
mate.
Yeah.
That's so... I mean,
I hope to God that the televised wasn't live. Because, they
anyone's
did film it
listening.
again, but I don't know if that was for, a video they were putting together or whatever, but
if you
I
worked in a
choose to...
Hobart tourism campaign 14 years ago and have that footage, send it in. Or burn
please,
it. One of the two.
Maybe burn it.
Yeah,
I don't
burn
know.
it. That's a terrifying thing as well, because you're like, all our fuck ups are just recorded now, and you're like, I haven't seen them, but they're probably just on some stranger's hard drive somewhere.
Probably.
I got so many fucking terrible auditions, which are just they're just floating around on some fucking
me
server
too.
somewhere. It's just insane, but I've never seen them.
And
they're
TV
just
and
out
film
there.
auditions are so fucking weird. It's like,
the worst.
if you've never done a chat to camera or whatever,
Yeah.
no one
knows what to do.
And you don't realize how fucking weird and shit and awkward they are.
Yeah, and then you're like, if you catch a glimpse of yourself in like a monitor, you're like, why am I twitching so much? Like, why am I dancing on the spot?
Yeah, what?
It's
why is my
such a
lip
specific
quivering?
thing. Yeah, you're like, fuck, is that
My
what I
hair
look like?
looks so shit.
Yeah, or you've just had like a little strand of
horrendous.
hair sticking up. It's like, has that been up the whole time? Did I just touch my hair just now? Then you get inside
I
your
always
own
have a
head.
nervous rash, like this
Oh,
giant
do you?
red rash up my neck.
Yeah, that looks great on camera as well.
Yeah, it looks really good.
For anyone that's starting out in the industry, go in, the rashier you are, the better you look. You're essentially shining on camera.
Yeah.
Fuck, that sucks. I'm like, again, genuinely, thank you so much for sharing that. I
Anytime.
hate hearing those stories, but they're so good when people can share them.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, hey man, it can fucking happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
It
it
can
does
happen
happen
to you at
people.
8 a.m. at 16.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucker.
But I mean, like 16 as well. I'm like, oh, why didn't they put more safety nets in place?
I mean, I think they just, I've done the song so many times. I
Yeah.
figured they just figured that I knew what I was doing. And if I needed lyrics, I would have put them there.
yeah. Oh, but you're
Which I
like,
didn't. I
Yeah.
just blanked.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
like there was, the DVD logo bouncing around my brain. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing.
Just
Not
like-
even, I couldn't even
all right,
like,
G, just G. G. Fuck, it's better than nothing, G.
go like, waiting, nothing.
All right. This person, they're really teasing it out just now. Okay, we're getting ready. And they're done. Sick.
And I was like,
All right.
thank you.
Cool.
Terrible.
Enjoy the cheese, everyone. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that, but thank you so much.
And my mother never lets me live it down either.
Oh, that's so lovely as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
It's so nice you got to experience that too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you see our child, presumably the biggest thing you've ever done at that point in your life.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and just...
And she's a performer too. Like, she's,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So she knows.
Is that like... She didn't want to give you a little heads up being like, hey, this is the biggest thing you've done, maybe...
Oh, no. I'm sure
No.
she was just sitting back watching me. Just, let's go, girl.
At least hopefully it was before like phone cameras and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it would have been.
Handheld camera maybe. Oh. Well, again, hopefully the footage isn't out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move on from that one. I'll try and stop sweating as much now. You did mention as well that you've done a little bit of TV and film auditions. If we can touch on that, because again, that's the classic go-to for all the awkward and
yeah.
embarrassing stuff. Have you done much with that then?
Only small amounts. I
Yep.
mean, I really started doing film stuff, especially during COVID, because as
Yeah.
you know, like, was one of the few sort of industries that was still
Yeah,
You know?
live music died on its fucking arse, unfortunately.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sadly, I was kind of out of, my creative outlet was cancelled.
Yeah, right.
So
And there's only
you
so
know.
many times you can like play to yourself in your
Yeah.
bedroom. Yeah. So you moved into the old. Was it acting or?
a little bit, like, it was a lot of extras work that I was
Yeah.
doing.
Oh, bro, I love extras work.
I love it too.
It is.
I was on Neighbours for like a year. It was fucking
Where are
great.
you? Oh my
Yeah.
god!
You just get paid to sit around and like pretend to fucking drink,
Like a glass of water
glass
that's meant
of
to look
water.
like a coffee or
Yeah,
something.
or
Yeah.
walk across this little bridge. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to the studios there, but like,
Yeah, I filmed some on Neighbours last year. I did a little bit of stunt work on it. And it's out in. Can we say this? Nunawading,
Nunawading,
I suppose.
yeah.
I'm sure they've got security and measure there. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Google it and find out where it is anyway.
yeah, the Neighbours studio.
Yeah, exactly. I think they genuinely run tours there as well.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Yeah, I've been out a couple of times. I did Neighbours there, and I did like an Olivia Newton-John biopic.
Oh, yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've had a nap in their green room.
Oh,
It's my claim to fame.
well, I've probably also napped in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what like a lot of extras work is just napping, either on
Literally.
or off camera as
Yeah.
well.
You just, sitting around all day getting paid to, get bitten by mosquitoes.
You're literally just human furniture, and I don't mean I've done so much extras work when I was starting out in Australia as well, just to get like a feel for it.
Oh, yeah.
How did
And it's
you-
easy money,
Oh,
you know?
it's so
Like,
easy. Like you do nothing as well, and if you're a regular human being, like people like are so happy to see you there. Like essentially, you're just like, oh my god, like you're not a complete weirdo.
Yeah.
You're not like licking the wallpaper.
Yeah. Good for you.
Do you work with a lot of extras in that case?
I did, yeah. I did a few. There were a couple of...
Did you make a lot of friends?
Yeah,
on
there
it?
were a couple of people that I actually sort of still keep in touch with.
Me too. I was the same as I knocked my microphone over. How professional. But there's a couple of people I stayed in touch with, and then a few people that will stay with me for the rest of my life,
Yes.
but I hope to never meet again in
Yes,
real
likewise.
life. Yeah. Do you have any stories about them? We don't have to say it as well in case they are floating around out there still.
I don't even know. They were so... Probably nothing like super out of the ordinary, but just like weird,
Yeah.
super weird characters.
Oh, for sure. Every extra is, I mean, there's like, I don't know, like 4 groups of people it usually is. Like your aspiring artists, so like your aspiring actors, your filmmakers, your musicians as well. So you've got them. You've got your retirees. They're always there. Yep.
The retirees is big.
Yeah, it's massive.
They love it.
No, I'm just here to see how all this works.
Yeah.
What is this then? And then you've got your kind of like younger ones who are like getting like, oh, I get to see I don't know, are kids excited to see Guy Pearce now?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know who he is anymore.
Or whoever kids are excited to see nowadays on TV shows. And then you've got, I don't know where they find these people, but the strangest human beings you will ever meet in your life.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And
It's kind of amazing.
It's genuinely impressive if I wasn't so terrified sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're always just like, oh, what's your character? I'm like, I'm just sitting in the background in a cafe and they're like, oh, I'm an escaped psychopath and I'm going to be like hiding this knife underneath the table just in case. And I'm like,
okay.
Oh, bro, can I not sit at this table with you? So rough.
It is rough.
I love them, but I don't want to spend any time with them.
No. And you're just locked on a set, basically.
Oh, you're stuck there with them as well.
We did one, I think, did the Robbie Williams biopic.
Oh,
and
nice. I had loads of friends that worked on that. Yeah. Better Man.
Yeah, yeah. And I think we did the I think it was the Britpop Awards scene.
Yeah.
But we were obviously just at Rod Laver for like 14 hours.
Yeah, of course, right.
And like a whole bunch of things changed, so we were sitting around for so long.
Oh, and like there are long days.
And like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And everyone just kind of goes crazy.
Oh, for sure.
And
Even
it was
if you're
freezing
a normal
cold
person.
and like...
And they filmed it in the middle of winter and the entire time it was meant to be summer in it as well.
Yeah.
So the classic thing is they're always shooting winter for summer and summer for winter on TV and film. I'm like, why can't you just shoot summer for summer?
It would make so much sense.
That'd be so much more comfortable. I'm
Yeah.
not sitting here shivering in blue.
The outfit brief would be like spring colours, like blah, blah, blah. But it's like a, 6-degree day.
Yeah, it's like,
You're like,
6 degrees and you're like wind blowing sideways and you're like, act warm. And you're like, no, make me warm. Yeah, can you stop shivering on camera?
No.
No, I physically
Getting bitten
cannot.
by mosquitoes. I haven't eaten in 2 hours.
Oh, that's right as well, huh? And you're always in extra work. It's cast and crew get fed first, then the extras.
And then everyone else.
Yeah, and you don't get any of the good snacks either.
No.
You don't
They're
get
like,
the good coffee.
Here's a freaking banana and a cup of tea.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like Nescafe coffee.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time they have coffee vans, but you're like, no.
No.
Cast and crew only, not the extras. Which, being on the other side of things now where I do work as cast and crew, I'm like, no, I used to be there, but I'm glad.
Not anymore.
No, sorry, this isn't for you. Go away. This is our coffee van.
Plebs.
Yeah, this is our toasty truck. Get out of here. You go and eat your little
You've
snacks
moved
over
up,
there.
to the up the.
I'm still
the
not high
acting
up at
ladder,
all.
you know?
Yeah, I'm like a day player or a bit part at most, and I'm still like, yeah.
That's
Oh,
fine.
my barista
around.
made coffee. Thank you very much. Yes, I know my one line. Yes, thank you, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, or like, I'm working on stunts, and I'm like, oh, my barista made. Oh, I'm so sorry. Would somebody need me? Yes, I'll be there. One second. I'm so sorry. Bye.
Oh, one moment. There's someone talking my earpiece. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, sprinting over them, trying to find a coordinator. I'm here to serve. But yeah, extras work is. I mean, again, I bag them out a little too often, I would probably say, but
It's an essential part of the film.
have a very special
some
place in my
extras
heart.
do so much.
Yeah.
Probably too much.
yeah, right.
Yeah. I've done like a couple of, like ads or whatever for companies, like large scale ones.
Yeah.
And there'll be someone that's just fucking really going for it.
Yeah, right. And they're so excited as
And
well.
then,
And you're
they're
like, oh, it's-
dancing real hard and
Yeah, sweating
the
so
director
much.
will be like, you got to sit down. Like, you can't.
Yeah, you're like, everyone else is dancing normal. Like, are you going to have a heart attack? Are
Can't
you
keep jumping
genuinely
over the
okay?
barrier and,
And standing in front of the main cast, staring
Yeah.
into the camera.
And people do that.
Oh,
like,
all the
people
time.
do that. And,
Yeah.
like, I think there's this weird thing that, as an extra, you're supposed to blend in, but
Yeah.
people, obviously, everyone wants their moment in the spotlight.
I'm going to be discovered.
yeah.
Every single extra is like, oh, not everyone, sorry, but like,
You're like,
a
this
lot
is
of them are
it.
like, this is my big break. All I need to be is noticed by this director who I don't know the name of and I
Yeah.
haven't done any research on them, but they're going to see me and I'm
Yeah.
going to be the next
And
Guy
then,
Pearce.
yeah, when everyone sees me as a tiny orange fuzzy dot in the background of a
Yeah.
scene, they're going to be like,
And it's funny as well
that's
because
where she was.
on the day you'll be standing there and everything's in focus because you're a human being and you have
Yeah.
eyes, whereas cameras have such a specific focal point that you're like, oh, I wasn't even in the frame. I was putting in my best background acting work here,
Yeah,
and
I was
wasn't
walking
even in it.
real chill, real
Yeah.
casual.
I would turn my head at the same point every single time to fake talk to this person because I'm not actually allowed to talk in the background because it's distracting, so I just move my mouth. Wasn't even on camera.
No.
That was pointless.
Yeah.
I literally could have sat down. Yeah. But yeah, sorry, moving on from
But as we do,
the extras
that's
as
what
well.
you do.
Yeah.
That's your job.
It is genuinely.
And we were
like,
fucking good at it.
exactly, right? And you get paid for it. And at the end of the day, you're like paid for it, free meals.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you are just sitting down as well.
Exactly. And I'd much rather get paid to do that than, deal with people screaming at me over bread.
Exactly, right?
So...
Oh, hospital work.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, so much fun. So much fun. So we've had our early gig there as well. Or somewhat unfortunate. Tassie. Hiccup.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got anything else after that? Are we moving into the Melbourne days?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there was one more incident in Tassie.
Oh, no, we're not even on to Melbourne.
I started young. Let's just say I was being very embarrassing very early on.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
A lot of people say, like, I do all my embarrassing stuff when I'm younger, and I just learn, like, you learn
It
not
never
to be when you're
ends.
older. And you're
I'm
like,
probably more embarrassing now, but I just don't care.
mine's consistent. It's just a flat line, like, up the
Yeah.
top of the graph. It just never dips.
Which is
When's it going
great.
to dip?
It doesn't.
I know.
Maybe it's not embarrassing anymore if it's,
It's all still in my head. It's still up there. Like what you were saying with your Hobart one. It's like you sit in bed and you're like, oh God, that happened. And that can be from 20 years ago or like 5 days ago.
My things now are just forgetting who people are or that I've...
Yeah, I do that all the time as well.
I meet so many people. Or
it's
you meet five
crazy.
people for 5 seconds at a show. And they'll be like,
everybody-
how are you? How have you been? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Everybody sees you, especially like when you're
Yeah.
standing on stage. Everybody
Yeah.
sees you, and then have you ever had it before? So we'll get back into this other Tassie story. But have you ever had it? Somebody comes up and like, oh hey, they recognize you, but they're not sure from where.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, you don't know who I am. I'm so sorry. I saw you performing a couple of weeks ago.
no one ever admits that though.
Yeah.
They just think that I know who they are.
Yeah.
Which sometimes I'll be like, all right, or they'll tell me or whatever. I'll
Yeah.
be like, okay, yeah, I do kind of remember that.
Yeah.
But like, it's dark. I have terrible eyesight.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sweaty and I've just got off stage and talked to someone for, 2 seconds, which is so lovely. And I love talking to people.
Oh, it's beautiful. Like,
but you meet like,
however many.
100 people in a night.
Yeah.
For 1 second.
And that's after you're like, all right, I'm off. I need to run to this next gig as well.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm going to go DJ and,
Yeah. Yeah.
make
bush.
some money.
Yeah, I'm going to go and do my
Because I'm
real
not making
job
any
now.
money off this thing.
Oh, art in Australia.
And so it's this really strange paradox where, like, I mean, I'm pretty good with faces.
Yeah.
Terrible with names, really good with faces.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weird thing where now I'm just paranoid that I'm just going to forget that I've met someone who I've met like 5 times.
Yeah.
And just the shame and embarrassment from it is like too much to bear.
You're only going to keep meeting more and more people as well. It's just going to keep
gets
getting
worse.
exponentially worse.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that down again.
So now my approach is just to pretend that I know everyone.
Yeah, I always do that. I was like, oh, hey, mate.
How are you? Actually,
Yeah.
another embarrassing story.
Yeah.
I did this the other night.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, let's hear this one.
I was DJing.
Yes.
And again, local pub.
Yep.
I mean, I've worked in so many places in Melbourne. I work in a hospital all along Johnson Street.
Oh, and
So
that's
I know a lot of local people.
a million people coming and going every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I work at a bar, I work at a cafe, I work at,
Yeah.
another little cafe. I DJ.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that I see all in similar areas
Yeah.
whose faces I will recognise,
Yep.
but I have no idea where from. And so this guy comes up to me while I'm playing and he sort of approached me as if he was going to say hello, like he
Okay.
knew who I was. And I don't know if I just convinced myself that I recognise him.
Okay.
And I was like, hi, how are you? And gave him a hug. And immediately he was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And I was like,
Oh, no.
I've done it, haven't I? And then
I'm just this friendly with everyone.
yeah. And yeah, he's obviously like, well, this DJ's really, really nice.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it was just, what was the song before? We were trying to rack our brains to like remember what the name of the song was before. And I was like, it was The Wait by the band. Like, great song. Fucking, do you want a shot?
Yeah.
How have you been? And just then flipped the script and was like, how are you?
Oh, so you're trying to make him think.
And then I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to pretend that I know who you are.
Yeah. Oh,
and
have
then
you
you're
been?
going to feel bad.
Yeah.
Like, you've forgotten who I am.
Just gaslight him. It's like
Just
he knows you.
gaslighting him. But I was like, fuck, I'm just going to have to keep going along with this.
Yeah.
So I bought him a shot and was like, how are you? How have you been? Like, what's going on? Like, yeah.
And he went back over. He's like, I do not remember the name of that song, but I think I've just met
like,
an old friend.
Yeah. I don't know who the fuck that was, but, she bought me a shot. So
Yeah. Go and speak to the DJ.
Yeah.
They're giving her shots.
She's really nice.
Guys, go,
Very
go.
generous DJ.
Lost all my money that night buying people shots.
Oh, God.
That stuff does suck. And it's such a split or an instant thing, like a split-second thing, where you're like, oh, fuck this. How am I going to recover?
And most people will go along with it. Like, admittedly, sometimes I will be like, and then someone will explain to me, like, oh, obviously I remember you now, but...
Yeah. Yeah, I always...
And people look different. People look so different in the dark than they do in the daytime.
Yeah. And
I look different in the daytime than...
Oh, for sure. Especially if you're out and you're like, oh, I've only ever seen you in, like, work clothes before.
Yeah, you take people out of context and immediately they're like...
It's so confusing.
Yeah, it's so
I'm
weird.
always changing my stupid face for acting as well. So sometimes
course,
I'll have a massive beard or no beard or, like, long hair or short hair, and then people will be like, oh, hey. And I'm like, oh, hi, man, how are you? I haven't seen you since this. And they're like, what?
Who are you?
I got this nonsensical accent, which kind of helps, though. People are like, oh, you're that guy.
The guy.
Yeah, you're
the
that
guy,
one
the
foreign guy. You're Irish, Scottish.
Whereabouts in Ireland are you from? And you're like, fuck, shut up.
Like, oh, I am the person you're thinking of, and I've told you multiple times it's Scotland.
It's Scotland, you motherfucker.
Fuck. So
Yeah, we cunt.
Exactly. And they're like, is that a term of endearment in Scotland as well? It's like, yes, it is, but I didn't mean it in that respect. No. I meant it on how it's meant to sound.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, yes, we'll go back to Tassie as well, because people will be screaming at their podcast catcher of choice.
Yeah, they just want to know.
Being like, tell us that Tasmanian story. So yes, we got another Tasmanian story before we left.
I was actually invited to go to this writers' festival, which I think has been going for a long time in Tassie.
Wow. Writers as in like songwriters? Or
songwriters, poets, like...
Oh, wow.
Like authors as well, like any
shit.
sort of writers, like they would go and obviously present their work.
Yeah.
I was there with like another really prolific songwriter. It was just kind of like I guess, a workshop.
Yeah.
And so anyone who wanted to come to the workshop would just come sit in the audience.
Sick.
And like there was a mediator and they'd ask us questions or whatever. So we were talking. Obviously, I was still young, and so we still,
what, like 16, 17-ish?
I must, because it was before I'd left. So, and I'd only started paying when I was 15. So it must have only been...
Fuck, you fitted in a few stories before you left Tasmania.
Oh, yeah. I was definitely working hard.
Yeah.
Oh, no, embarrassing myself. Yeah, thank you.
Was this pre or post the Tasmania tourism campaign as well?
I think it must have been post the tourism campaign. So, yeah, so it mustn't have been long after long before or long after I left.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Anyway, and, we'd been talking about a whole lot of things. People would talk about Bob Dylan and what sort of songwriter he was. And, they'd asked a couple of questions that I think I'd misunderstood and answered a little bit weird.
Okay, it happens.
I'm...
Like, you're a fucking child. I mean, what are people expecting?
I'm a fucking child. Yeah. And my music knowledge isn't as sort of, as broad as it is now.
Well, some people as well, like, expect you to be, like, the most in-depth, like, detailed things of your influences.
Yeah.
Like, no, bro, like,
I ain't
sometimes
philosophical
just like
at
stuff.
all.
Yeah.
I just was writing cute little songs trying to sound like Kate Bush and Tom Waits had a baby.
Exactly, right? And, like, I don't need to talk about this one musician that nobody's ever heard of from, like, 1908.
I wasn't even fucking born then. I mean,
right?
My mum obviously had great taste in music, and I'd listened to a lot of amazing, artists, but obviously historically I wasn't super knowledgeable on that.
Yeah.
I'm still not. It's just not something that.
But you don't need to be as well. That's the thing.
I like what music I like. I like.
Some people get very gatekeepery.
Yeah,
it's the same with
they'll be
films.
like, you should fucking know who this song is.
And this director,
blah blah blah.
And
you're like,
nah, bro, not really. Sorry.
But I mean, DJing definitely helps because you open your world to so much more music you wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah,
otherwise,
for sure. People coming up and
experience.
asking for the cha-cha slide and stuff.
And you're like, oh yeah, hell yeah, let's
Sick.
go.
You know all the dance to that? Awesome.
Yeah. So I think I'd, answered a couple of questions and really maybe missed the mark a little bit. And then everyone sort of got onto the subject of Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers.
Okay.
And me, not being super well versed in, I guess, Kenny Rogers' career.
Okay, yeah.
I hadn't really listened to what he'd done with Dolly Parton, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And had confused him with Kenny Loggins.
Look, again, forgivable. Like,
it's an easy mistake to make.
There's a million things going on. It's just one word different. Rogers Loggins, it's almost like you say it quickly.
His name's Kenny.
Seemingly, yeah. Old K-Dog. Yeah, like, oh, I know Kenny.
You know, so they'd had this really interesting conversation about Kenny Rogers and, you know, his work and his life. And I chimed in after about, 5 or 10 minutes and said, yeah, and Danger Zone's a banger.
And everyone seemingly out of the blue as well.
Yeah. And everyone kind of looked at me and they were like,
is she okay?
And kind of went, Loggins.
Yeah.
It's Kenny Loggins.
Did anyone bring it up to you? Did anyone mention it?
No. Oh. No one spoke of it again. Oh. And I was like, well, all right. Everyone thinks I'm a moron, but...
It's when you come in with such confidence in yourself as well.
Yeah.
And you're like...
And I was like, hell yeah, I know exactly what you guys are talking about.
Well, that's
Danger Zone's a fucking banger.
And
which it is.
I fucking love Danger Zone.
Hell yeah, Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah.
But maybe not the best time to bring it up.
And, this was an audience of, 80-year-olds that are all... probably,
music nerds.
Yeah, writing nerds, music nerds, really know what they're talking about, kind of vibes,
Yeah. Oh, at least that was a quick passing comment.
It was.
And you didn't go into depth with it. So, with a lot of these stories, it could always be worse, I think.
Oh, yeah. It could have definitely been a lot worse. I could have definitely gone on a tangent about,
Kenny Loggins. And, look, it is a banger. At the end of the day, maybe people are just like...
was I wrong? No.
She's just sharing her opinion on something that's got nothing to do with this.
Good for you.
But it's that thing, especially when you're younger as well, when you go into something with such confidence and then afterwards you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to say anything again.
Immediately I was like, well, I probably need to shut up forever.
Yeah. And that's really hard when you're literally on a platform and people come to exclusively listen to you.
And also, I think because I'd answered a couple of questions, I sort of misunderstood what it was. Just prior to that as well. I think it was just one of those things where you're like, everyone thinks I'm a fucking moron right now.
At the end of it, you're just like, hey, everyone, that was a character I was playing.
Yeah.
This is called performance art.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
And never set foot in this state ever again.
I'm actually going to leave Tasmania. Thank you all. Support Tasmanian tourism. Please come and see me in Melbourne. But also, maybe don't, actually.
Yeah.
Let's leave all these memories
pretend
down
that
here.
Never existed.
I'm going to the mainland to start a new life.
Yeah. Hooroo.
Is that why you changed your name to Queenie as well? You're like, Heloise is staying here.
I need to leave the bus behind.
Yeah. You're like, Heloise, rest in peace in Tasmania.
Yeah. You stay there.
No one will ever find me over here in Melbourne. Probably the closest place to Tasmania you can get in Australia.
All the Tasmanians are here.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't escape them.
Literally a boat ride away.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Not as bad as the
not as
tourism.
bad as forgetting an entire song.
So
but
it could be worse. Always could be worse. But sucks. That sucks. Oh.
Just me making a fool of myself most of the time. Usually.
Yeah. But again, making a fool of yourself's all right. As long as it's you're not roping other people into it, I suppose. I always find that's the silver lining.
Yeah.
If you made everyone else's day worse.
It would have been great if they all just laughed and thought it was funny, but it was just so...
Maybe it just wasn't your crowd.
It's definitely not my crowd.
Yeah, just gaslight them thinking it was a joke.
Yeah.
You're like, guys.
Hello.
Kenny Rogers, Loggins.
Funny.
Joke.
I'm funny.
Yeah. Do you need an applause? Bar? Come on. Seriously.
It's just a lot of disapproving looks from a lot of over 65s.
Just a lot of silence.
Yeah.
And they do love to do that as well, the over 65s. They don't love to show their support, but they would certainly show when they're not enjoying things. I'm joking for all my plus 65-year-old listener.
Love you. They're the ones who buy my merch, so, Oh,
are they? Fuck yeah. Yeah. Young people buy more merch. I fucking love merch, personally.
Me too.
Yeah, right?
I love a good t-shirt and a good stubby holder.
A fucking hat or something.
Yeah.
A badge, a sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stick it wherever you want.
Exactly, right? So we've moved on from Tassie up until Melbourne now, have we? What have we moved on to?
To be fair, I mean, a lot of my...
the podcast dog has returned. She has returned. Nice
a lot
and
of
hot.
my embarrassing moments as, a musician over here are sort of fairly minimal. I was trying to think about, I do so much embarrassing stuff, it's hard to narrow it down, really.
Well, that's good. I think it's when you start your career off, essentially, with one of your biggest gigs in your life, or certainly at that point anyway, maybe even to this point, and forgetting an entire song which you exclusively
You learn
wrote.
pretty quick.
Yeah, and also everything else by comparison, you're like, at least it wasn't that.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sorry, my dog is currently
panting away.
staring
I promise
down
that's not me.
She maybe has to get kicked out of the room, but she'll be in here once again in the background of another podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't forgotten an entire song, but I have gone up on stage with a friend of mine at her gig in Melbourne.
Oh yeah.
It was a rogue invite. You know, one of our other friends that was playing.
Okay.
Was invited up on the stage, and as sort of like a throwaway, my friend was like, "Oh, Queenie, if you want to come up and sing this song too, feel free." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
So one friend was invited up.
One friend was playing.
Okay, sorry. One friend was playing. Yep.
She invited the other friend of ours that was playing the show as well.
Right. Okay.
To come up on stage and sing this song, which
cool.
she'd obviously rehearsed.
Yep.
And
a bit
then,
of an audience plant, as you would say.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, sort of as a throwaway, she was like, "Queenie, if you want to come up and sing as well, go for it." And I was like, "Hell yeah, it's probably going to be a cover, I know."
Yep.
You know, she's done in the past a couple of covers that I've known.
Yeah.
So I was like, surely she wouldn't just ask me to come up and sing a random song.
Did she?
And, well, I mean, we've known each other a very long time.
Yeah.
It would be safe to assume that I probably would have known the song, which I did.
Okay.
Great song.
Yep.
And I got up on stage and did not know any of the words. And rather than just like, you know, maybe humming or doing some oohs and ahs,
Yep.
I just kept trying to sing the words that I didn't know.
Like gibberish words? Or just like one of those things where you're just putting a load of words that are nonsensical together just in a sentence?
You know when you watch people try and mouth the words to a song that they don't know or pretend that they know a song? It was like that, but live.
That is not fun.
And the videos of me doing that are just...
Oh, are they out there as well? Fuck, that's a problem now as well,
This was recent too. Like,
fuck. Well, I mean, anyone that's got those videos, definitely send them in to the podcast page.
No.
Please, but that's brutal.
I got off stage, I was like, why the fuck did I do that? And I was like...
Can you name the song? Do you want to name the song?
It's the song is called Rosie. It's by my beautiful, amazing friend, Caitlin Harnett. And she obviously was just kind enough to invite me onto the stage.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I have heard the song. It's a great song.
Yeah.
And I knew one line.
Okay, that's better than nothing.
So that's the start.
Yeah.
You know, we've known each other a long time.
Yep.
Songs, you know, are fairly well, you know, like an older song.
Yeah.
So it would be safe to assume that I could have known it. But I obviously hadn't rehearsed it as much as our other friend had.
Well, that had been given the heads up.
They'd planned it, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, they'd planned it. And, you know, she adored the song. She loves Caitlin and loves her songs.
Feels like they threw you under the bus a bit here, I'm going to be honest with you.
Nah, it was my own stupid fault. I don't know why the fuck I thought that was a good idea.
Well, because a lot of things seem like a good idea on the time, especially when there's like lots of people there and you're like, I'm a musician,
I want to be included.
singer.
Yeah. You know, I want to be part of the gang.
Yeah, right. Nobody jumped in to save you as well? I
just kept turning to Tamara. I was like, I have no fucking idea what the words are to this song.
But that one line that you knew, did you get that in?
I got that.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I got that one fucking line.
That's what you need from the video
And then the rest of it's just me
clips.
sort of slightly turning away like...
no.
I don't know why I kept trying to sing the words. I should have just like grooved or...
Yeah, right.
Picked up a tambo or something.
Yeah, or just like,
no, harmonise on some oohs and ahs.
You did, not what I did.
That would have, I mean, even what you did probably would have been better. So
I don't think it would have been, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, that's a rough one.
Why?
It's the videos afterwards.
Yeah. Just watching me being like, just mouthing words that aren't.
Any friends that sent it to you as well?
Oh, I just saw myself tagged in all of them on Instagram.
Why would they put it up and tag you?
People probably don't even realise that that's what I was doing, that I was just pretending that I knew the song.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
it wasn't like I was even pretending. I just got up there, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it'd be a cover I knew or whatever, and, you know.
I suppose if you're making noises, at least you're not standing there just, like, terrified.
I just had my little pint glass and my little straw, like... grooving from side to side, like, why did I do that?
Nice.
And I just, you know, Tamara was just so beautiful and singing, you know, these amazing harmonies, and I was just there looking like an absolute fool.
But again, I suppose that's speaking to your fans as well, because like, no, Queenie was great. What are you talking about? And then, like, you're like, you didn't properly listen to the lyrics, did you?
No, you weren't watching me.
But that's a real
There were
fan.
a couple of people that were like, you didn't know that song. I was like, fuck no.
But you don't need to bring it up afterwards. Like, I knew. I lived through that, thank you. Like,
and I will never live it down.
Yeah, exactly. Can you listen to that song again now without, like,
Probably.
wincing?
I'll never listen again without being like, why am I so stupid.
Have you learnt the song now, though?
I should. You know what I should? I should message Caitlin and be like, babe, next time we do a show together, I'm going to come up and I'm going to sing that song.
Give me a fucking heads up next time, maybe, though. Like, I'll learn this song, I promise. I'll come up and sing it the best I can.
And I'll
give me a
get
day.
every word, I promise.
Yeah. You go back up and you freeze again, like in the Tasmanian gig, and you're like, oh, fuck,
I'm
not
done.
again.
This is it. My career's over.
I'm over with. Oh, fuck, back to Tassie with me. Or off up to Sydney
Back
now.
to hide with a new identity. Yeah.
Just keep moving up the coast.
Yeah.
Till you hit Darwin, and you're like, all right, fuck.
All right. See if you guys want to... I can reinvent myself here and see if you guys want to watch me forget all my lyrics at another gig.
Yeah. And then on to another country after that, I suppose.
And then just keep heading up.
Keep heading north all the way up to Antarctica. Is that what's up there?
I think that's down.
Is it down? Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't
North
know.
Pole, I guess.
North Pole.
North Pole, here I come.
Fuck,
Fucking
that would make
Santa.
a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Yeah,
He wouldn't
Santa.
care. He wouldn't care, would he?
Yeah. Oh, God. Podcast dog is once again being an absolute disruption. Come on, Elsie. All right, so we should probably bring the podcast towards an end there. Do you have any other stories that you came prepared with that we can
I mean, probably.
fire through? Oh, and the dog's kicking the microphone now as well.
The worst, most... It's all right. I think I've done it like 50 times.
No, it's
The most embarrassing, or not embarrassing, but like awkward thing that actually happens on a regular basis is...
We're going to slightly move the dog off of the microphone stand.
Come on, baby girl.
I really want to hear it. Hello. Now, before we get into our next story, I've got to tell you the main reason why I'm able to fumble through my awkward and embarrassing day-to-day occasions. Coffee. Now, fortunately for myself and all of the listeners, we have paired with one of Melbourne's best coffee companies, Coffee on Q, a coffee worth talking about. Get ready to caffeinate yourself through your next awkward moment with Coffee on Q's signature Elevate blend. Crafted in-house with precision, each sip delivers delightful flavour notes of strawberry, chocolate and marmalade. And here's the deal you won't want to miss. Coffee on Q is offering an exclusive discount to all our listeners. Simply use the code WBFT15 at checkout to enjoy an incredible 15% off all coffee purchases. That's right, WBFT15 is a key to savings, making sure you're properly awake to remember your next big embarrassing moment. Now, this code is valid for all coffee products, so make sure you stock up on your favourites. And the best part? You can use the code WBFT15 as many times as you like. So don't miss out on the opportunity to enjoy the finest coffee Melbourne has to offer. Simply visit Coffee on Q, and that's QCUE.com.au, and enter the discount code WBFT15 at checkout to unlock 15% off your next coffee order. That's WBFT15 at coffeeonq.com.au. Coffee on Q, where awkward moments pair perfectly with your daily cup. Alright, we're back. Sans Podcast Dog once again, but for the most embarrassing story.
Well,
I think this is the perfect end to the podcast.
And this does happen on a regular basis.
Oh, shit. So the most embarrassing story happens all the time?
It does.
Fuck.
So... like I play in a band, right?
Yep.
Obviously, I have a band behind my Queenie project.
Yes.
And my younger brother plays the drums.
Oh, sick. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh,
so
awesome.
my little brother Lewis, who I am super close with, we're great buds. You know, we fucking tell each other to get fucked all the time.
Yeah.
And like, I always tell him I'm going to fucking kick his ass or whatever.
Oh, yeah, sibling
You know,
shit.
I give him the finger on stage and tell him he's a wanker. He loves it. We have great banter.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know that we're siblings.
I was going to say, do people have context to that?
No. And so I
No.
think that is often misinterpreted as us being either like, you know, I've had people be like, oh, so is this your boyfriend?
Oh.
And I'll
Like,
be like,
whoa, no, you've read that situation wrong.
Completely wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that was his girlfriend. Actually, we played a show down in Tassie recently, and I think his girlfriend was standing behind a guy.
Okay.
Who she heard say to whoever he was standing with. He was like, oh, those guys are definitely fucking.
Did she turn around?
And
She's
she
like,
tapped him on the shoulder and was like, that's his sister. And he was like, oh, God.
oh,
God.
I'm going to have to leave this gig now, I'm afraid.
And obviously it's because Lewis and I just take the piss out of each other on stage.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
I'll be like, fuck you, Lewis, and give him the finger and, you know.
That's like, oh.
But for some reason, people just misinterpret. It's like the, you know, Jack White, Meg White situation.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Are they siblings? Are they fucking? Like, what is it? You know.
And I think, like,
And being Tasmanian just, adds to that. It's
a bit of a stereotype for a reason, I think. But yeah, not in this case, obviously. But I think, like, you're more likely to be in a band with your partner.
With your partner, yeah. It's not
your
it's
sibling.
less common to be in a band with your
Do you
sibling.
two look like each other at all as well?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
He's a ranger as well.
Oh, well then...
I don't get it. I was like, how could you not look at us and be like, oh, they're clearly siblings?
Yeah, they're definitely related.
Yeah, but it happens more often than not. People will just be like, oh, so is that your boyfriend? Or and I'll be like, no. I get that I'm from Tasmania, but like, no, guys, come on.
Even
I married my cousin.
Down there.
Fuck.
Yeah, like, it's not direct
we draw
relatives.
the line at siblings.
Yeah,
like,
that's even for Tasmania too much. I mean, maybe like...
I didn't marry my cousin just for, clarity's sake. Or did I?
Eloise is winking at me just now, so... Oh, God. Do people also, like, bring you up being like, you should stop being so mean to your bandmates as well? Or do they always think it's in
they'd
jest?
be like, no, I mean, I don't know. I always try and make a point of being like, this is my, my baby brother playing drums.
Yeah, nice.
Let's boo him.
Yeah.
He's the biggest show off in the band.
Yeah. Yeah, always be mean to him, obviously, but we are siblings.
Yeah.
You should just have t-shirts saying brother and sister as well.
Even my keyboard player, she has, like, when she first started playing with us, she was like, oh yeah, these guys are definitely dating. Like, are you guys exes? She was like, she's like, what's the go with you two? Like, are you exes or like, are you dating? Like, what is it? And I was like, oh God, no.
Okay, so this keyboard player came in with no idea of what the band...
No context at all.
Got you.
And so I guess just for some reason people just think because we have such great banter that for some reason
it's only
so awkward.
couples that can be super mean to each other as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the energy you expect from people that,
Yeah. When you're...
that exes, that you're exes with or...
Yeah, right. God,
and I've been in bands with both, two of my partners, so...
Have you been mean to them?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so
all of my relationships are just based on us taking the piss out of each other, basically.
So people are getting a little bit, maybe, like, your long-term fans are like...
Yeah, maybe like...
If she's being mean to someone, does that mean they're dating? Or like, I don't know, I can't keep up with this anymore.
Am I only mean to people I'm in love with? Does this make this whole dynamic really weird now? Like...
I mean, yes. Isn't that how us millennials show our love, right?
Yeah,
just through being really mean to each...
just shit memes and like...
Yeah, right.
Taking the piss out of each other.
And then depression.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how we show our love, but that's what we all have. Yeah, wow, that's hectic. Also, like anyone,
so often it happens so often.
Like for any future, I don't know anybody that's going to bring up anything like that they're seeing. Maybe I don't know they're going to see musicians or anything. Just ask like, so. Like, how do you guys know each other? Or not even that, like...
Just clear it up first.
What's going on here? Yeah. Don't instantly
what's going on here?
Fucking. What's this? Excuse me? Don't give each other the middle finger.
No!
Yeah. Oh, wow. That is a hectic... firstly, thing to hear all the time. And secondly, way to end a podcast as well.
Yeah.
So,
enjoy that very Tasmanian excerpt from my life.
Very on brand.
On brand.
Yep, nice. I love it.
You can take the gal out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the gal, let me say.
So you moved up here with your brother / partner as well then?
Yeah. They were
That's
one
the same person.
Yeah.
Oh, gross. Awesome. Well, if
this is either going to go really well for me in the long term or, people are going to be like, what the fuck?
Just absolutely terrified now.
If someone takes this tiny, snippet out of this podcast and just
oh, please clip this. Anyone, news.com.au, what's a big music mag here?
Oh, I don't even know. Beat mag.
Yeah. Beat.
Just take that snippet of the podcast and just make it a TikTok sound.
Run with it,
I'm
please.
You.
Yeah. If you can also, obviously say where you got it from. This podcast won't be forgetting that. I would love that as well. Yeah. But I don't want to be known as the incest podcast as well at the same time. Which I think is the perfect ending to this not incest podcast. I am cutting all of that out. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me, Seb.
/Queenie /DJ Orange Rat /Heloise one of
all my titles.
1/4 of Badgers. Yeah. Cool. So where can people find you? Where can people see you?
I am. My next show is the Port Fairy Folk Festival, so it won't be in Melbourne, but it will be down in Port Fairy, which is a great drive for anyone who wants to go down.
Yeah,
it's going to be a really good festival this year.
March, is it?
March 8th to the 11th.
Yes.
And then I do have a solo show in the West on the 20th of February at
Swansea,
Littlefoot.
Is it?
Oh, we're also going down to Swansea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God, I actually have more shows than I thought.
Oh, watch it. It sounds a bit popular.
Yeah. Come on. Well, I mean, it's been a nice little sort of break these last couple of months. We've
you
been
need
a lot
them
more
sometimes,
sporadically.
right?
Yeah, waiting for the single to drop on February 29th.
Feb 29th, is
Feb
it?
29th,
Fuck
that's when the
yes.
first single from my upcoming album will be out.
All right,
on
well,
all
firstly,
streaming
what's it called? Where can people find it? How can people support?
So the new single is called Not Divine. It's going to be obviously on all streaming platforms.
Where would you like to send people as far as streaming platforms? Because I usually ask our musicians on here, and people usually have a very specific answer. Yep.
I mean, Spotify is great.
Yep.
I mean, it pays fuck all, obviously,
Yep.
but I've accepted that is not where I'm going to make any money.
Yeah, unfortunately. Have you got
Now you got to go to
Bandcamp
my
as well?
motherfucking website and buy my merch instead.
Oh, yes. So, okay, what is the website then? Let's send people there.
The website is www.killqueenie.com.
Beautiful. And we've got merch on there as
We got
well.
merch, I got vinyls, I got whatever you want.
I'm going to go and check out some of that merch. As I said before, I fucking love a bit of merch.
I should have brought you some.
Oh, bro, I'm going to
Shit
pay
guest.
for it. I'm not taking free merch. I'm fucking buying that shit.
It's all right, this is a good trade-off.
Yes.
It's all about the trades. you know?
Beautiful. Look at that, huh? See
Yeah.
a little bit of peek behind the curtains, guys. Yeah. I'm not buying any vinyl because I cannot play it and I'm fucking terrified of it, as I
We've had this-
mentioned.
we've talked about this.
But I'm going to suggest all my, I don't want to say nerdy friends, all my friends that enjoy their vinyls to buy it as well. Is the new album or new single coming out as a physical release as well? Are you
It
doing
will,
vinyl?
yeah. I think we're going to do a vinyl for the album release,
Fuck yes.
which will be sick.
Have we got a date in mind for the album release yet?
We're thinking August.
August, sick.
Yeah.
Do you have a name yet, or is it all still...
Secret.
Oh, so keep an eye out on all of your social channels,
Yeah.
which are...
So all my handles are all Kill Queenie.
Yeah,
So
sick.
Instagram's Instagram.com/Kill Queenie. Facebook,
Yeah.
same thing.
Beautiful. You one of those psychopaths that's still on Twitter?
Hell no.
Yeah, good on you.
X, as it's known now.
X.
Yeah. Nah, I
Cool.
mean, I draw the line at Instagram. I can't do any more platforms.
Oh, me
Everyone wants
too.
me to get TikTok, and I'm just... Unless I'm going to go on there and be completely cooked and
Yeah.
just make weird fucking videos of me.
Oh, I was on
know.
TikTok for like a week and I was like, I got lost. I couldn't do it. I got rid of
can't.
it. It's done. And then...
I'm just not funny enough, like, to make videos like that.
No, I don't have my niche either.
Nah,
That's the problem.
me
Some people
neither.
really find their niche and I'm like,
Yeah.
I ain't got that.
People are really fucking funny on
Yeah,
TikTok, and I
exactly.
will enjoy and consume that media.
Yeah.
But
And I'm still
yeah.
trying to post YouTube videos onto TikTok and people are like, what is this? It's not the right format.
And you're like, I don't know, I don't
I'm
get
like,
it. I
I
don't want
don't-
to interact on any more
What do
platforms.
you don't want to watch a 2.5 minute long video on TikTok. Yeah, so that's tiring.
Yeah, so unless I, it's a get ready with me while I go to smoke a durry outside and cry.
I reckon
I guess
that's a good one.
Probably
Yeah.
that I'm probably going to stay off TikTok.
Yeah, no, fair enough as well. I think for mental health reasons as well, it's probably a good
Oh
idea.
yeah,
too.
the more I get consumed by my phone, the worse my writing gets. So
I'm the same as well. Yeah, it's not a good
like,
thing.
really,
not a
really
good place
trying,
to be.
yeah, to stay off the fucking social media.
Fuck yes.
Unless obviously for the band stuff, it's necessary, and I love doing that because it feels like it's part
Yeah.
of making steps towards my career. But
Of course, like that's work.
that doom scrolling,
Doing
can't do
air
it.
quotes again.
Oh,
Yep,
work. Air quotes. Yeah,
That's cool.
You
So,
know, and
as-
so staying off there as a for fucking 6 hours a day, just doom scrolling and watching stupid
Bro,
videos.
it's awful.
I'm going to buy a Motorola flip phone, and I'm just going to live that
Off the grids.
2007
In the
lifestyle
push.
again.
Yes. Yes.
Cannot wait.
But obviously go and follow Queenie on the social
Please,
media
please,
apps as
yeah.
well.
I'm pretty funny on there,
Yes.
I'm not going to lie.
If people want to catch you DJing as well.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah,
Yep.
I post everything on there. So
Yeah, beautiful.
yeah, I got a lot of DJ sets coming up.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The Gem got a couple coming up at Sugar Glider, but yeah, obviously I post them on all my socials. So.
Yeah, keep an eye out on there as well then.
Party with me.
Yes, yes, and keep an eye out for all those fucking drops as well. I'll do a little post when the when
yeah,
the single
that'd be
comes out,
great.
and then when the album comes out as well. How exciting!
I know. I can't believe it's done.
Yeah, that's so exciting. Fuck, is that the first album as well? The first full album?
Yeah, I've done a couple of EPs,
Yep,
but yeah, this
yep.
is the first album. So.
Fuck yeah, that's so sick.
Milestone.
An album, You're like an international superstar now.
Crazy. Imagine.
Yeah,
Imagine.
Yeah.
If I can stop making coffee for a living, I'll retire.
me too. Which leads me quite nicely on to the same as every week. You can find Won't Be Forgetting That pod across most of the social media platforms. I too really am on like Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. I can't do Twitter either. It's It's not for little old me. And then speaking of, little old me, you'll find me, Semirhead, Murhead, across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We do have a Patreon page as well, patreon.com/won't be forgetting that pod, which I too would love to stop making coffees 5-6 days a week. And genuinely, it really does help the podcast run. So if you can afford to, I genuinely appreciate anything that anyone can give. If you can't, though, a little 5-star rating on your podcast listener of choice is honestly fantastic. It really helps spread the show. You rate it 5 stars. You can write whatever you want in the comments. It doesn't have to be nice, be mean, it can be weird, it can be sleazy. As long as it's a 5-star review, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But
noted.
Yes, please, genuinely, the weirder the better. I mean, nothing that's going to get me cancelled or barred from any platforms, preferably. But yeah, go crazy, honestly. 5 stars. Go weird. The weirder the better, honestly. If you can leave any of the weird stuff for myself as well, don't go after the guests. You can say nice things about the guests. I'll take the burden of the weird stuff. But yeah, write something nice about the guests in there. But yeah, please, the weirder the better for me. But yes, thank you so much again, Queenie.
Thank you.
Cannot wait to hear your single.
Thank you so much, Seb.